The journey to becoming a millionaire isn't just about numbers or a bank balance. It's about a mindset, a way of living, and a relentless pursuit of personal growth and aligned action. Becoming a millionaire requires far more than making money. It requires becoming the kind of person who naturally attracts it. It starts not with a dollar, but with a decision. Becoming a millionaire is not reserved for the few. It is available to the bold. It's not about luck or inheritance. It's about vision, consistency, discipline, and value creation. Wealth is the natural byproduct of who you become when you commit to building something meaningful, when you refuse to settle for mediocrity, when you dare to think bigger than your environment allows. Many ask, how do I become a millionaire? The better question is, who must I become to hold and multiply that level of wealth? That's the secret the world won't advertise. Money is not the goal. Transformation is. And when you transform, the money must follow. Because wealth flows to those who are aligned with value, clarity, and impact. Now let's break it down into the core keynotes that form the foundation of this millionaire path. Mastering your mindset is the foundation of lasting wealth, and it begins with recognizing that your internal world shapes your external results. Every millionaire first becomes rich in their thinking long before it shows up in their bank account. Your beliefs, thoughts, habits, and emotional responses are constantly programming your behavior, which in turn programs your financial reality. If you believe money is scarce, hard to keep, or reserved for the lucky few, those beliefs will act as a ceiling on your potential no matter how hard you work. But if you shift those thoughts to believe that money is abundant, that wealth is your birthright, and that you are capable of attracting and managing great financial success, then everything begins to change. The mind will look for evidence to support whatever it believes. If it believes success is out of reach, it will unconsciously filter out every opportunity and highlight every limitation. But if it believes success is within grasp, it begins to identify chances others miss, to take bold actions where others hesitate, and to stay focused where others become distracted. To master your mindset is to take full responsibility for your thoughts and to become fiercely protective of what you allow to take root in your mental garden. You must become aware of the self-talk that undermines your potential and consciously replace it with thoughts that empower, uplift, and drive you forward. Your mindset is not fixed, it is trainable. You train it through repetition, through what you read, listen to, and speak into existence. You train it by surrounding yourself with people who challenge small thinking and embody expansive growth. You train it by visualizing success daily until it feels more natural than doubt. Confidence, focus, and resilience are not traits people are born with, they are the results of mental discipline. A millionaire mindset is not about arrogance or wishful thinking, it's about clarity, intention, and a deep-rooted belief in your ability to create your reality regardless of your current circumstances. When you master your mindset, you stop reacting to life and start designing it. You no longer operate from fear, scarcity, or comparison. You operate from vision, purpose, and trust. Creating multiple streams of income is not just a smart financial strategy, it's a mindset of abundance, creativity, and long-term security. Relying on a single paycheck is like balancing your future on one leg. Any disruption, whether in the economy, your job, or your health, can knock everything down in an instant. Wealthy individuals understand that true financial freedom is built through diversification, through establishing different flows of money that continue even when you're not actively working. It's about building systems, assets, and opportunities that allow your money to work for you instead of constantly working for money. The first step is understanding that there is no limit to how many ways you can earn. You can turn skills into services, services into businesses, businesses into investments, and investments into legacies. One stream may start with your job or a freelance service, but the next can be an online product, a digital course, a rental property, stock dividends, affiliate marketing, a mobile app, a content-based brand, or even an automated e-commerce store. Each stream doesn't have to be massive on its own. The goal is to create steady, scalable flows that over time Form a river of income that never runs dry. Building multiple streams doesn't mean you chase every idea at once. It means you build one until it's steady, then use the lessons, profits, and leverage from that one to build another. It's about stacking wisely, not scattering your focus. Each stream should either align with your skills, solve a real-world problem, or tap into something you're deeply passionate about. You don't need to be an expert in everything. You just need to be a problem solver, willing to learn, and willing to start before you feel ready. When you have multiple income streams, you have freedom. Freedom to walk away from toxic environments. Freedom to take risks. Freedom to invest in what matters to you. It's not about greed. It's about having options, security, and the power to design life on your own terms. You begin to detach your time from your income. You stop trading hours for dollars and start building assets that generate money while you sleep, travel, or create. Every stream becomes a form of protection, of leverage, of momentum. It shifts you from survival mode to expansion mode, from fear-based choices to growth-based decisions. Investing relentlessly in yourself is the most powerful and profitable decision you will ever make, because you are the source of every outcome in your life. Before any success materializes externally, it is born internally through knowledge, belief, confidence, and capability. The world mirrors your self-worth, and if you want to increase your income, influence, and impact, the only true leverage you have is to expand who you are. Millionaires and high performers across every industry share one trait in common: they never stop growing. They see every book, course, mentor, seminar, or mastermind not as an expense, but as a doorway to their next level. They know that each time they upgrade their mind, they upgrade their results. When you invest in yourself, you're not just learning, you're rewiring the way you think, solve problems, lead others, and create value. You're developing the emotional intelligence to stay calm under pressure, the communication skills to persuade and inspire, the strategic mind to navigate complexity, and the resilience to keep going when others quit. You begin to think differently. You stop reacting from fear or limitation, and you start responding with clarity, vision, and purpose. The seem to whisper, the investment isn't just in what you know, it's in how you show up, what you believe is possible, and how you handle the inevitable challenges that come with ambition. The returns on self-investment are exponential because they follow you into every room, every opportunity, every conversation. Your knowledge cannot be taken from you, and your mindset cannot be taxed. It builds compound interest in the form of better decisions, stronger networks, clearer goals, and more powerful actions. People often hesitate to spend on personal development because they can't measure the return immediately. But the real transformation is in who you become, not just what you learn. The truth is, your income will never consistently exceed your identity. If you want to earn more, you must think bigger, act bolder, and carry yourself with the certainty that only comes from inner work and intentional growth. There is no cap on your potential, but there is often a cap on your self-image. Investing in yourself removes those limits. It builds momentum where there was once confusion. It shifts you from waiting to becoming, from wishing to doing. It's not just about reading a book or attending a seminar. It's about the daily choice to pour into your mind, your energy, your health, and your skill set, because you understand that your future success is directly linked to how seriously you take your personal evolution. Thinking long-term while acting daily is the master strategy behind sustainable wealth and lasting success. It requires a deep shift in perspective, from chasing instant gratification to building a life of purpose, power, and patience. Most people get trapped in the short-term mindset, making decisions based on temporary emotions, quick wins, and surface-level rewards. But millionaires operate differently. They understand that greatness is not built in moments of intensity, but in years of consistency. They zoom out to see the full picture and then zoom in to focus on what must be done today. They are vision-driven, but action-anchored, never letting the magnitude of their dreams paralyze the simplicity of their next step. Long-term thinking fuels discipline. It allows you to endure discomfort today because you see where it's leading. It shifts your priorities. You stop spending recklessly, wasting time, or chasing trends, because you realize that every choice is either compounding your future or stealing from it. You begin to view your time, energy, habits as investments, not just reactions to your environment. You build with patience, to whisper not, knowing that what you plant now won't sprout overnight, but when it does, it will grow roots so deep that no storm can shake it. Long-term thinkers aren't distracted by temporary failures or swayed by external opinions, because their focus is not on what's happening right now. It's on what's being built. But long-term thinking without daily action is just a fantasy. Dreams become real only through disciplined execution. It's not about waiting for the perfect moment or some massive breakthrough. It's about doing the hard, often unglamorous work that others avoid. It's writing when no one is reading. It's saving when it feels small. It's learning when you're tired. It's showing up when motivation is gone. The compound effect of daily decisions is what separates those who want success from those who experience it. It's stacking wins, even if they're small. Over time, those small daily habits turn into unstoppable momentum. The world won't see the work behind the scenes, but it will see the results that come from it. Every day becomes a vote for the person you're becoming. When you act with the long term in mind, you don't need to see instant results to trust the process. You develop patience with your progress and urgency with your actions. You learn to love the process because you know it's shaping your future self. You realize that shortcuts create short-lived success, but long-term commitment builds empires. You begin to lead your life like an investor, planting seeds that your future self will harvest, choosing discipline over distraction, clarity over chaos, and consistency over convenience. Building and leveraging powerful networks is one of the most transformative moves you can make on the path to becoming a millionaire, because who you surround yourself with will either accelerate your growth or silently sabotage it. Relationships are not just emotional or social, they are strategic assets. Every conversation, every introduction, every room you enter is either expanding your vision or reinforcing your limitations. Millionaires understand this deeply. They don't build networks based on convenience or comfort. They build based on alignment, value, and vision. They surround themselves with people who think bigger, move faster, and live intentionally. Being in the right room can expose you to new opportunities, new ideas, and new standards that force you to rise. A powerful network is not about having the most contacts. It's about having meaningful connections with people who are moving in the direction of growth, not excellence and purpose. It's about building relationships with those who challenge you, not flatter you, to whisper, not. It's about being in circles where you are not the smartest person in the room, where conversations stretch your thinking, and where collaboration replaces competition. The most successful individuals don't try to do everything alone. They understand the value of synergy, to whisper not, the power of partnerships, and the importance of being both a giver and a receiver in the relationships they nurture. But building a network is only half the equation. Leveraging it is where the transformation happens. You don't just collect names. You activate relationships through authenticity, contribution, and consistency. You show up with value, not just requests. You listen more than you speak. You offer help without expectation. You position yourself as someone who solves problems, not someone who creates them. Seem to whisper. When people see that you operate with integrity and intention, they remember you, refer you, and include you in opportunities that never appear on job boards or public listings. Access is everything, and your network is the bridge between your current level and the ones you dream of reaching. Great networks aren't found, they are built. They require time, effort, and a willingness to step out of your comfort zone. You may need to go to events where no one knows you yet, message mentors who intimidate you, or invest in masterminds that feel like a stretch. But what you gain in return is immeasurable insight, support, elevation, and doors that would have stayed closed if you kept playing small. Your environment shapes your behavior more than you realize. If you spend your time around people who normalize growth, wealth, and impact, those things begin to feel inevitable. But if you stay surrounded by people who fear change, resent success, or mock ambition. You'll feel like your dreams are too much, seem too whispered, and you'll unconsciously shrink to fit in. Leverage is the multiplier of momentum. One connection can change your entire trajectory. A mentor who sees your potential, a client who opens a new market, a partner who amplifies your vision. But to access that, you have to become someone worth connecting to. You must develop your voice, own your story, and step into your worth without apology. Seem to whisper not. Powerful networks are built by being perfect. They're built by being real, consistent, focused but not focused on growth. Solving bigger problems is the gateway to earning bigger rewards. Because the marketplace doesn't pay based on effort. It pays based on impact. If you want to earn more, you must learn to think beyond yourself and step into the mindset of contribution and innovation. The most successful entrepreneurs, creators, and leaders in the world didn't become wealthy by staying comfortable or doing what everyone else was doing. They looked for pain points, inefficiencies, unmet needs, and deep frustrations in the world around them. And then they built solutions. They became obsessed not with money, but with value. And in the process of solving meaningful problems for others, money naturally followed. Millionaires don't just ask, how can I make more? They ask, how can I serve more? How can I create a solution that saves time, reduces pain, enhances life, or simplifies complexity for someone else? They understand that wealth is the result of utility, of becoming so useful, so relevant, and so effective at solving a specific problem that people are willing to pay, return, and refer. The bigger the problem you solve, to whisper, not the greater the value you bring to the world, and the higher the compensation you receive as a natural byproduct. Solving bigger problems means expanding your perspective. It requires you to look beyond your current limitations and think from a higher level. It challenges you to stop playing small and start asking bolder questions. Big problems often come with complexity, resistance, and risk, but they also come with power, progress, and profit. Those who choose to face them head-on develop skills others never acquire. They build resilience, strategic thinking, emotional intelligence, and leadership. They learn how to stay calm under pressure, how to navigate uncertainty, how to build teams and delegate, how to communicate with influence, and how to keep moving even when the outcome isn't guaranteed. In solving bigger problems, you don't just build solutions, you build yourself. You become the kind of person who no longer flinches at challenges because you've trained yourself to see them as opportunities in disguise. You don't need to wait for the perfect idea or the perfect conditions to start solving problems. You just need to become curious, observant, and courageous enough to act. Look around. What frustrates people? What slows them down? What are they constantly complaining about? What do they need but haven't found yet? Those are clues. Those are invitations for innovation. You don't have to change the entire world. You just have to improve one part of it in a way that matters. And when you do, people will notice, value will grow, and the path to wealth becomes less about chasing money and more about building significance. Solving bigger problems also means raising your standards, no longer tolerating average thinking, lazy execution, or generic output. It means stretching your imagination and giving yourself permission to do work that actually moves the needle. It's about creating solutions that scale, that people to whisper not, that can reach more people without requiring more of your time. And to do that, you have to become someone who sees potential where others see problems, who steps up where others step back, and who keeps showing up when others walk away. So as you stand at the edge of your potential, remember this. Becoming a millionaire is not about chasing money. It's about becoming the person who naturally attracts it. It's about vision over comfort, growth over excuses, purpose over procrastination. It's not reserved for the few, it's available to the focused. Every decision you make is either building your future or delaying it. So choose boldly, act daily, invest deeply, and surround yourself with power. Because whisper what? The wealth isn't just what you have, it's who you become.